Hello, everyone, and this is Gary Maloney from Sacktown Slam, and I am here for your Tuesday Smackdown review. However, there is some breaking news today. This is Wednesday, of course. No more James Ellsworth, because he got released. Yes! Finally, this dude was a joke. And myself, amongst a lot of other people in the YouTube wrestling community, are probably going to be very happy this dude is gone. I mean, he was a jobber, and he went from getting crushed by Braun Strowman to winning against AJ Styles, which makes zero sense. Then this guy was wearing like S&M stuff with Carmella, which also made no sense. So, I mean, when he got super kicked, I think it was 2 weeks ago, by Carmella, I kind of figured that was the end of him. I mean, this, WWE did not renew his contract, and he spent a year with this company. Like, that is a long time as a jobber, just legit with this company. And as much as I hate to say it, a lot of more infamous things happened than famous things happened with this guy. So I don't really feel like he has that much talent. So, you got an action figure, you got a t-shirt, I think. So, whatevs. But I'm glad he's gone. WWE is fucking cleaning house, because that is 4 people in 4 weeks that they have fired. They are cleaning house right now, and I'm glad that they are getting their house in order, because the fact of the matter is that if you want to bring talent up, you have to make room for that talent. And the fact is that people like Ellsworth, they're taking up a spot. People like, Darren Young, taking up a spot. Emma was not taking up a spot. I think Emma was serving her purpose well, so I won't say that about Emma. But, again, people like, oh God, who else was it? Summer Rae, taking up a spot. So the fact of the matter is that it's time. I'm glad that WWE's getting their house in order. I'm glad that this is happening. I'm glad Ellsworth is gone, because he served no purpose but to piss people off, basically, that he had a spot that he was not deserving of. And the fact of the matter is that, there's it is, at least now, there's no one, outside of Enzo, of course, on that roster that is there with no talent. So now let's get to SmackDown. And before I even start talking about SmackDown itself, I want to talk about the build again for Survivor Series. First of all, the build, I don't know if someone 4 weeks ago just woke up and got, clonked in the head and said, do your fucking job. Or if the creative writers all got together and were like, we suck and we need to make this a good pay-per-view. Or if someone said, we need to outdo War Games, what can we do to do that? Because there's no way in hell, in our current style, we are ever going to outdo a War Games pay-per-view that is so fucking nostalgic. that is, people want to see this. So, with all due respect, in that, I think, in respect to WWE, they've done a damn good job this month of having long-term storytelling, creating things, making them happen. I mean, some people were not big on the whole brand thing, but that's what Survivor Series is about. And, SmackDown getting the jump on Raw and invading Raw created an effect which then had Raw invade SmackDown last night. And that created, again, eventually an organic effect. I mean, the SmackDown invading Raw was not organic, but is about brand loyalty. And did Raw have that same brand loyalty? So, in essence, it was organic. Because everyone that got together on the SmackDown roster that night, a few weeks ago, a month ago, when SmackDown invaded Raw, had brand loyalty. And really, that's what this is all about. So, I'm loving the build. They stacked this card. I mean, I don't know why they're having Survivor Series outdo WrestleMania, outdo SummerSlam, which, God, you could outdo SummerSlam by having James Ellsworth on the damn card, and, Royal Rumble. I mean, as much as I hate to say it, Survivor Series this year, it will kill last year's, because last year's was, ugh. It'll kill 2016's, because that was, ugh. I mean, this is going to probably outdo the last 10 years of Survivor Series. I mean, I am absolutely impressed. And you are not going to hear me say that much on this channel. But WWE is getting their house in order. And if they can continue to deliver like this, I will be happy. If they cannot deliver or continue to deliver like this, I'm not going to be happy. I mean, during the time that Raw invaded, you had Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn run away because they don't give a shit about brand loyalty. They are in it for themselves. It is the Sammy and Kevin show. I mean, they don't give a shit about Shane McMahon. And then when, Raw invaded SmackDown, I mean, I'm hearing now that apparently, Jason Jordan didn't know until 6:30 Monday night he was getting replaced by Triple H. Ouch. Like, you're thinking you're gonna go onto Survivor Series and then you get replaced. Ooh. But I'm going to be honest with you. I mean, this is Nostalgia City. I mean, there's so many combustible elements, which I'll go over more of this in detail in my Survivor Series predictions. But in the meantime, let's get on to SmackDown, shall we? So, SmackDown was in Charlotte, North Carolina at the Spectrum Center. This was on November 14th, for those wondering. So, the show opens up with General Manager Daniel Bryan coming out to the ring And he talks about how Team Blue recently added John Cena to their ranks, and then introduces new WWE Champion AJ Styles. That's right. Now, Bryan states that during doing a Paul Heyman impression, as he announces himself as the advocate for the undisputed WWE champion, Bryan then goes on to say he took exception to a couple of the things Heyman stated last night on Raw. Heyman had said that Styles would be victimized and conquered by the Beast. Lesnar is big. Everything about him is big. But Bryan points out that Lesnar has a tendency to quit. He quit WWE before. Whenever he gets pushed into deep waters, he quits. And Styles will drag Lesnar into deep water. Styles will push Lesnar to the limits, and he will push him to the wall, and Lesnar will quit. So yes, Lesnar is big, but he cannot go one-on-one with the Phenomenal One. Lesnar will not be able to be better than the best performer of this generation, AJ Styles. Styles gets on the mic and says that he can actually talk too. He's not a puppet like Lesnar. And Styles does agree with Heyman on one thing. He's the underdog, but Styles will find a way Styles will find a way to win. He will show that Smackdown is the A show because Smackdown is the house that AJ Styles built. With that, Styles' music plays and the crowd cheers. So, yeah, it was a great segment. I think this clearly sets out a great match. I mean, I don't expect Styles to win, but I'm rooting for him. I mean, I hope that they surprise us with a Styles win. Next match, United States Championship match, Baron Corbin versus Sin Cara. Alright, basically, not a long match, and very predictable. Ended with, so they went to a commercial. Corbin whips Sin Cara into the corner and follows up with a clothesline. Cara falls to his knees, and Corbin lands a shot, causing Cara to faceplant. Corbin talks some trash, but then Cara comes back. He knocks Corbin out of the ring, and then nails him with a suicide dive. Back in the ring, Cara lands a springboard crossbody for a 2 count. They move through some transitions, and then Corbin drops Cara with a deep 6 for a near fall. Cara sends Corbin outside again. He hits him with a moonsault off the turnbuckle. Back into the ring, Cara looks for a finish, but Corbin finds the end of days for a 3 count. So, yeah, that was basically it. Baron Corbin wins, which means Corbin and Miz will be the ones to fight at WrestleMania. At Survivor Series. This match is probably the one I'm looking at the least. I mean, Corbin and Miz, yeah, they've been with a Twitter war and everything, but ability-wise, Corbin's very green, and Miz is, like, as I've called him before, the king of safe style. So I don't expect anything, tremendous from this match. Nobody's going to be taking any chances, and nobody knows anything fancy, so it's all going to be in-ring semantics with this match. I mean, you're going to hear a lot of trash talking because it's heel versus heel, and it is what it is. So after that match, SmackDown Commissioner Shane McMahon and Daniel Bryan are talking backstage. Shane says there needs to be collusion in the locker room. Bryan says he agrees, and that's why he and Shane will need to have a talk after Survivor Series. Shane asks why, and Bryan wants to talk about collusion. He tells Shane that he was never consulted about the raid on Raw and that he got chokeslammed for his troubles when he went to Raw to sort things out. Shane starts to offer excuses, but Bryan stops him short and says he'll see Shane on Sunday. This makes me very interested. I mean, again, more things that could happen. It's like, is Jason Jordan going to betray Raw? Is Daniel Bryan going to betray SmackDown? Are Owens and Zayn going to betray SmackDown? Is Kane going to betray Raw? There's so much on this match. The eyes and ears on this match. The WWE has to deliver. A good, solid match with a few surprises. This is WWE's chance to make up for a shit year. And I do not think anyone will disagree that 2017 has been god-awful for WWE. This year WWE has tanked it bad. Anyway, SmackDown Women's Championship match, Natalya versus Charlotte Flair. This was a nice match. The way it ended was Natalya brings Charlotte back to the ring, puts Charlotte in the sharpshooter. Charlotte grimaces and moans in pain. Charlotte pulls and crawls toward the bottom rope, but Natalya drags her back towards the middle of the ring. Charlotte once again stretches, claws, and crawls to get to the bottom rope. The hold is broken. Charlotte knocks Natalya out of the ring. Natalya quickly jumps back in, but Charlotte boots her in the face. Charlotte slaps on a figure 8 and forces Natalya to tap. So, new women's champion and the woman that will be facing Alexa Bliss at Survivor Series, Charlotte. We all knew this was going to happen. This was reported a couple days ago. But I think this was great. Charlotte cuts a promo in the ring after the match. The crowd chants, "You deserve it." Charlotte says that she's going to defeat the Raw Women's Champion Alexa Bliss at Survivor Series because Raw had a queen before it had a goddess. I loved that line, by the way. That was fucking great. That's like her kind of falling back into her heel, but still staying face. I love it. Like, this kind of thing, it needs to happen like twice a year. That's why you need King of the Ring. But regardless, this is a great momentum builder for both brands. Anyway, then Charlotte dedicates this title win to her father, Ric Flair. As Charlotte is making her way up the aisle, her music stops and Ric Flair's music begins to play, and her dad comes out and then embraces her daughter. I thought that was such a huge, like, OMG moment for me. Like, my heart didn't stop, but you could kind of feel that. I don't even think she knew the way she hugged her and she held the title. That's so cool after your dad has a heart attack to see him there in your hometown after you win the title. It's like, Boom! So, you know WWE likes Charlotte. Now, Jimmy Uso versus Chad Gable. So, let's see if I can find... Oh, okay, so hold on. Uno momento. Having a problem. Okay, so there we go. The way this ended, Gable grabs Jimmy's leg and throws him face first into the canvas. Gable climbs to the top rope and goes for a moonsault. Jimmy rolls out of the way and Gable lands on his feet. Jimmy takes out Gable's leg and lands a number of clotheslines and a Samoan drop. Gable gets back in for a moment and then gets distracted and Jey Uso by Jey Uso at ringside, and Jimmy clocks Gable with a super kick and gets the pinfall. Pretty simple. I think that feud will continue, you know, based on what happens. I think that, you know, they're setting up for that. And Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn are backstage talking about how they're not even booked for Survivor Series and there is no one that deserves a spot on that card more than them two. It's true they made a move and reestablished it as the Sami and Kevin show. So, New Day versus Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens. Now, this match would not have an ending. And it did not have an ending. So, I will read the rest of this. Owens has the tag and keeps Woods grounded, preventing a tag out. Owens with DDT, cut off Woods again. Sammy tags himself in and throws rights at the ribs of Woods. Hot tag to Big E, who launches Sammy over his head, and repeated overhead punches, or suplexes, Big E with a belly to belly, catching Sammy over the ropes. Big E with a splash over Sammy. Big E teases Owens outside the ring. Wood flips over the top rope, catching Owens. And then the Shield's music hits. Roman Reigns, Seth Rollins, and Dean Ambrose are in the crowd. Kofi Kingston jumps in the ring, and they stare down the Shield. Owens and Sammy just get out of Dodge. They jump over the guardrail and run. Like, they do not give a fuck about brand loyalty. They got out of there. Anyway, the Shield jumps the ring barricade and goes out to the ring apron. And then the Shield jumps in and attacks the New Day. The Usos then hit the ring, and the Shield go after them. Then Sheamus and Cesaro hit the ring and are in-house and go after them. And go after the Usos and the New Day. And then we go to the women's team Raw for the women. Run into the Smackdown women's locker room and are starting a big brawl. Alexa Bliss takes out Charlotte with a big right hand punch, which looked beast, by the way, and she just gives her one of those kind of looks like, I am a bitch and you know it. You're the queen? Well, I'm a goddess. You know, like, kind of looks. And then Finn Balor, Samoa Joe, Titus O'Neil, and Apollo Crews now hit the ring. Shane and Smackdown roster run down, jumping rings inside the ring. A huge brawl is breaking out. We see Kurt Angle walk out to the stage as he calls out Braun Strowman. Strowman clears house. Shane goes after Strowman and gets leveled. Yeah, he got kicked the shit out of by Strowman. I am not even kidding. It's like kaboom. We see Kurt Angle smiling at ringside. The Shield wraps up Shane against the ropes and makes him watch the Smackdown roster get beat up by members of Raw at ringside. The Shield has Shane down and held back inside the ring. Yeah, they were sitting there holding Shane's face to the top rope, being like, you see this? You see this? You started this. Like, you just like, this is war, okay? This is war. It's like, and other guys are sitting there slapping Shane's face while they walk by. You know, guys are shouting at Shane. It's crazy. And, okay, then the Shield gives Shane a triple power bomb as Angle then stands over Shane. Angle picks up Shane and hits Shane with an Angle slam. The Shield gives Shane another triple power bomb. So that's 2 triple power bombs and an Angle slam. Oof. Angle looks down at Shane again and then bails from the ring. The show comes to a close with the Raw roster smiling, led by Kurt Angle. So they beat the shit and got revenge for the first Under Siege. I'm liking what's happening. So boom, you know, we have our go home show. It was beautiful. I think that this show is, I don't know who woke up this past month and decided to have a damn brain, but it was what it was, and it was beautiful. I mean, this last month has been great. I mean, Under Siege has been great. I cannot complain at all. This whole thing has been just spontaneously, it has been very spontaneous, which is unlike WWE. It's been great, unlike what WWE has been giving us these last few days. So, this last couple months, I'm glad that, for one Big Four pay-per-view, we're getting a good card. And I'm glad that, this card includes a lot of great title versus title match, champion versus champion. Obviously, no titles are on the line other than the Cruiserweight title, which no one cares about anyway. But, I'm glad. This is what WWE needed, is brand versus brand competition. Because every year, you got your All-Star game. You got your AL versus your NL, your AFC versus your NFC, your East versus West. I don't care what you call it. You have to have it. And it has to be a big deal. Otherwise, it's not going to be a big deal. Anyway, that's about all I have got to say for today. I mean, I think I am one of the first people out there that is going to be talking about Ellsworth getting fired. So this just now happened today. So I'm Gary Maloney here for Sacktown Slam, and I am signing off.